Hello, I am Asheron, and welcome to my study. And today, we are back once more to some Asheron's Call. I was just trying to organize my bags before I started the stream, because I kind of realized I left them in a bit of a mess last time. So we have a few things left to put away. Let's see. Dye plant, random shield that I wanted to keep for some reason, Ulthoy helm that I borrowed last stream, and moss stone. That should be about it. Aside from all these sturdy iron keys that I have no idea what I'm going to do with. I usually just get rid of them because I used to save them, but at this point it's like, why would I save them? What do we even use them for? Like, I know you used to use them to get, no, it was sturdy steel keys that gave you ring and wall spells, right? So I don't know. I don't even know what you use the iron keys for. I do know there's one quest on Aphis Lassel that gives you, like, it gives you random rewards every time you turn in a sturdy iron key, I think, and that has some worthwhile rewards, I think, but it's not really a very convenient quest, and it doesn't really do a lot for you overall. So I usually just get rid of them. I don't know what you do with them in the long term. I think they used to be a lot more important than they are now. But anyways, the plan for right now, I don't know what I'm going to do the entire stream, but at least the first thing I wanted to do was try to get a, is it Palinqual's living weapon, because it was one of the only low level ish weapons that I saw that I could, or that I knew how to get, that had crushing blow and biting strike on it. And it seems like, even though they don't really buff themselves, which is why they're usually not that good, I usually kind of overlook them on most characters because a lot of my melee characters can't yet buff themselves. And, that makes it so that having a weapon that doesn't buff itself is a bit subpar, because what are you going to do with a weapon that just doesn't get buffed? And it's just kind of mostly useless. Also, why does this cliffside have a similar texture to the roads? Like, who paved the entire cliffside? We're not gonna ask these questions. Um, anyways, so yeah, but having a weapon that will get buffed by all the pretty good buffs on this thing, which it has pretty much the best weapon buffs we have seen thus far on just a one-handed weapon that we've acquired. So it'll be getting the benefit of all of these buffs while in the main hand. And that means that it'll be crushing blow and biting strike and have its own unique buffs and be benefiting from the buffs of this weapon. How tough are you guys? You guys are level 50. And you all have ranged weapons, which isn't really a problem, I don't think, but I'd rather not pull all of you at once. I think the main strategy was like run around and go into the cave and then kind of wait in a corner and see who comes to you, but let's just see how much damage these losers do and if I can actually hit them. They do a decent amount of damage for sure. And I do not do a decent amount of damage for sure. So yeah, basically half of the over half of the living weapons quest is just you kill a bunch of Tumaroks and they drop little totem things. And then you're level 80. That's why your fists are doing so much damage. Let's attack low to see if we can't unbalance you whenever we do manage to hit. And I thought this was the low level camp. That's why I was going here. I was like, man, I am technically high enough level to be on the plateau, but I don't want to fight plateau level Tombrox, and yet here we are. But these guys do have a higher drop rate, so in theory, it's good that we're fighting them. It's just in reality, and like these guys are about the level I expected. Oh, that mace crit. And we'll be getting a lot more of those if we get something with both Crushing Blow and Biting Strike. Really, Ulfoy as well? We do not need this. we, we definitely do not need Ulfoy on us right now. Also, I don't know why my... Oh, really? Okay. Tree, protect me. The tree did not protect me fully. How did you get around the plant? How are you guys getting around the plant? That is not supposed to be possible. Like, this plant right here blocked the other guy, and yet these guys are just ignoring it. Alright, well. We've narrowed it down a little bit. Never mind, they're back. Luckily, these guys have swords, which seem, for whatever reason, to be the absolute weakest weapon an enemy can have in this game. I don't know why that is. Also, I mean, this guy's kind of a wimp. I think I was just intimidated by his level 80 status. I need to stop, you know, misconstruing level for difficulty, because that's not always the case. Although, okay, there we go. Got unbalancing blow. I was gonna say, not being able to hit him very often is kind of unfortunate. Even with unbalancing blow, it doesn't really help a lot. He's still dodging me like, I'd say at least 50% of the time, probably 70%. But that's fine. We really need to get our cooking up. Because we only need to be drinking these elixirs for as long as we do not have sufficient cooking. Yeah, and maybe I should attack a bit faster to try to get unbalancing on him. That is the general strategy. When something keeps evading you, you attack faster. But that just means that whenever you do hit, you're doing significantly less damage. And we're getting pretty unlucky with the unbalancing, but that's fine. He'll die either way, unless things respawn by the time I kill him. Okay, we finally got unbalancing. Still not working too well, but that's fine. We definitely need to find a place that has lower level tomb rocks. Yeah, because this place... Actually, I think... No, it's just a regular ruined iron thing. Well, let's look for more guys like you. Because you're level 40, and that's about the right level for us. And we got a totem. Now, oh hi. You were not invited. I don't know why you're here. Guy just like respawns out of nowhere. Oh, but he dropped this. Huh. Interesting. Message will soon self-destruct. Indeed. That I think I remember that quest. Is that... I mean, it said bring MMDs if you want to purchase anything. That might be related to the black market. But I thought that there was a quest with those kinds of things that... I forget what it is, though. It's a pretty old quest. And you would get those little notes off the bandits. And they would have like a certain timer on them that you need to do the next step of the quest in that time. But I never really did that quest. I mean, I think once or twice I did it a long time ago, but I don't remember it all that well. Maybe I should look that quest up and do it next stream. I don't know. Or later this stream. I mean, I still have no plans as to what I'm doing after the totems have been collected, which we already have one of them. Because this one we can use to give and just flag us for the dungeon that we need to go into. Because you need 4 overall. You need 1 that you turn in to get flagged to go into the dungeon, and 3 that you combine. This is one of the ones that we want to combine. Okay, wind reeves aren't too bad. I need more stamina potions for sure. Yeah, these guys shouldn't be too big of an issue, right? Maybe I should have started by killing the missile weapons guys, because they're the only ones I do not have any protection against. Okay. And of course they're all in the water, which is my least favorite place to kill things. But it shouldn't be a problem. We'll just use next item. Or next unlooted enemy, as it were. Because next item would not do what we wanted it to do. Alright, but we've got more wind reeves over here. And I think wind reeves can drop the totems, right? Let me just double check. Yep, wind reeves can indeed. Okay. Why are there so many ranged ones? Not that it's really that big of an issue. I mean, they're doing decent damage and they can hit me quite often, but I just have so much HP, it doesn't really even make a big difference. Really, like, at a certain point, the only thing that's scary in the game is getting one shot by a spell. That's like melee attacks end up losing all threat after a certain point. Except off of like especially difficult enemies, like really high level Ulthoi that have absolutely like unfathomable amounts of melee attack skill. Or boss enemies that also have a ton of attack skill, but for the most part, after a certain point, nothing's getting through even just a decent amount of melee defense by the late game. But what always gets through is the occasional spell. And if they've put a level 8 Vuln on you, you're just pretty much a goner. Oh yeah, and there's one of the special life stones out here. We're not going to set our life stone there, but it's always cool seeing one of those around. Alright, more Tumaroks. We did get lucky with the first totem of the right type dropping, but it seems most efficient to just run around and kill them randomly, because trying to assault that camp was obviously a bit of a mistake, because there was just too many of them. Oh, really? Immediately. Just instant respawn. I do not appreciate that, Karenzis. You know, it is still weird. I know people have mentioned it before, but it's very odd to hear, like, specifically Karenzi sounds in a lot of other media. Like, it is such a recognizable noise to anybody who's played this game, but... Ooh, Karenzi pelt. But yeah, it's like, you hear it in a lot of things. I think there was in the show Smallville. I think I distinctly remember an episode where there was a dog that sounded exactly like the Karenzis, because I think they were using the exact same sound, and it was very bizarre. And there's a lot of you guys in this group. And 4 of you have ranged weapons. What's that about? Why do you guys like the ranged weapons so much? Ow. Especially when you're critting with them. I'm not a fan. Oh, really? And you can hit me like that. Alright, well, we're just gonna pop out of here. Because, yeah, for some reason, this character specifically can never heal themselves out of low health. I swear, every other one of my characters has been able to. Every other one. But this one, I've given up trying. Because they do not heal at low health very well at all. And it might just be that I haven't invested as much into healing skill as on my other characters, but or maybe it's just a luck thing. Maybe I'm just very unlucky on this character and I just never really noticed it. But we need more stamina potions anyway, because we were down to 3. That's not gonna get us very far, that's for sure. But once we get cooking going, which we don't even have cooking trained, we can almost train it. Though I think we had other stuff to get. Yeah, we still have item enchantment to get. So it might be a while before we get cooking. Or I would get my buff bot set up. Let's see, we have 3, so 47, I guess. That gives us a 50 of these, which doesn't overburden us, which is nice. And then let's go sell. I don't think we need the Baron's Amulet of Life Giving anymore. We can probably get rid of that. But let's see. I need more mana. Still need more mana. Okay. We can get rid of the Amulet of Life Giving. Man, I have horrible luck with those mana stones too. Like even the moderate mana stone, which is bigger than the regular mana stone, has only a 15% chance of destruction. I think a regular mana stone might be like 10% or something. And like 2 of those broke in a row. You know how unlucky that is? It seems about par for the course when it comes to me and my luck in this game. Anytime something can go wrong, it usually does. Isn't that like isn't there like a rule or a general philosophical idea of anything that can go wrong will or something like that? I don't remember it exactly, but that kind of embodies my experience with Asheron's Call, which is weird because I also get like extremely lucky sometimes. Like that one time where I was at like 1 health and the Might Queen just for no real good reason ended up running around the corner and got stuck on the wall. It's like logically there's no reason that that should have happened. But I just got so insanely lucky that that ended up happening. So I don't know. I either get insanely good luck or just ridiculously bad luck. Pretty much every time I play this. You know, on one hand, I'm surviving situations just barely that I really shouldn't have survived. And on the other hand, I end up failing a 98% chance to tinker something. It's it's just how things go, I suppose. Okay. You're a little lower level. I don't know if you can drop the things, but we'll just annihilate you anyway. Just in case. But yeah, we have to go this way. I do kind of want to see if that group was still there. I think we killed one of them before the healing failed and we had to retreat. But if they haven't despawned, oh, some of you here, are any of you really high enough level? Do the let's see, what are they called? Drum speakers. Do the drum speakers drop the item? It doesn't look like they do. Neither do the hunters, so there's no use killing those ones. We just need to ignore the lower level enemies. But yeah, the big group of Tumaroks was kind of right on the road, weren't they? I think they were, which is a bit odd. But you know, this isn't like World of Warcraft where they make it so enemies avoid the roads. If the enemies want to spawn on the roads, they will. They do not care. Yeah, I think it was. Yep, it's right there. Is the corpse still there? I don't see it, which is unfortunate. I never got to loot it. Alright, let's just preemptively heal so we don't get low enough health that we have to worry about not being able to heal. Okay, well, hopefully one of these guys will drop something we need. Nope, absolutely nothing. Unfortunate. We're still at 1 out of 3. Plus, even if they do end up dropping the totems, there's only a 33% chance that it'll actually be the totem we need. Once again, what's with all the ranged weapons? Literally all 4 of you have ranged weapons. What is that about? Can you die, please? Thank you. I don't know. I think it's kind of a mortal flaw of mine is that I don't like healing until I've dealt with an enemy that's low health. You know? Like if the enemy's just a couple hits away, I wait. I just try to finish off the one enemy because in my mind, you know, it takes a while to heal. So if you can take out one enemy's source of DPS, which is them existing, then you're fairly easily able to, you know, heal and then you have less damage coming in. Thus your healing will be overall more successful. But then I've delayed healing by that much more and it usually doesn't end well. Should I even come back here? I mean, we did get one thing back here. I also don't know why they have level 50s, 80s, and 30s all in the same area. Like, the 30s just end up being laughably weak, while the 80s end up being very difficult to hit. So I don't know. I don't see why they went for that decision. But of course, they all have ranged weapons. And it seems like the crossbows are of the biggest concern. The bows seem to be like the sword of ranged weapons, you know? Where it's just kind of unimpressive. Ooh, just a brawler's crystal. What is a brawler's crystal? Is that dirty fighting? I don't seem to remember. Okay, not what we needed. Yep, looks like dirty fighting. Yes. Not super important. I still have never gotten a single impressive rare in my life. I think the best rare I've ever gotten was while I was macroing, I ended up getting a skeleton key. And that was nice. But on that server, none of the things you're supposed to use skeleton keys on was even implemented. Like the gauntlet didn't exist, and all that stuff. I don't. They may have implemented the gauntlet by now, so I might be able to go back there and just use my skeleton keys. But yeah, that was the highest level of rare that I've ever acquired in my. Ow. in my many years of playing Asheron's Call. This guy does a lot of damage. I don't know why, but enemies who don't have weapons always do more damage than enemies that do. Why is that? There must be some, like, disconnect in the system, some kind of weird math going on. But something just respawned behind me. Why do they always do that? If I could just hit this guy. Thank you. Okay, yeah, just a random Windreave appeared behind us. Let's take out the rest of the guys here. Oh, hi. About time that you guys showed up. I was missing you. Probably most dangerous is the unarmed guy. Because, yeah, it makes no sense that an unarmed guy should be doing this much more damage than a guy with a mace. Like, absolutely zero sense. Because usually enemies actually benefit from the weapons that they have. That's why enemies with certain weapons are less scary than enemies with other weapons. And this guy's just doing way more damage than he should. I mean, his crit chance, I double-clicked that. Anyways, his crit chance is through the roof. He crit me like 5 times throughout that. There's 2 on the same freaking chat window. 53, 53. And then he hits regularly for 20. There's another crit there. Another crit there. Why is it that another crit there? Why is it that certain enemies without weapons are so much scarier than enemies with them? It's so bizarre, because I've seen that on multiple servers, on my own server, on a GDLE server, on pretty much every kind of server. I have seen enemies that are absolutely formidable when it comes to their unarmed attacks, whereas regular attacks with, like, actual weaponry are freaking wimpy. Kind of like those simulacrum. I mean, they didn't have any unarmed simulacrum, but why is it that, like, the spear does twice the damage and hits twice as often as the sword? Like, why was the sword doing barely any damage and barely ever hitting? Same thing here. Like, why does the guy punch for 53 damage and yet the other one just smacks me every so often for 10 damage? And it might just be that, I mean, the unarmed damage is obviously a bit ridiculous, but it might just be that the unarmed animation is much faster, and so you end up in a situation where you're still getting hit for about the same amount, but it's just like twice as often, which might also account for the sheer number of crits that they were able to throw out. Was just they hit much more often. But it's a bit ludicrous just how much damage those guys can pump out in just a few seconds. Oh, now we need to go back to it. Yeah, and this place definitely is not gonna be very reliable when it comes to getting the totems. Our best bet is probably just to stick with the Windreaves. Ow. Once again, the bows are the freaking small fries here. Ow. See, because the bow... why didn't you heal? I pressed 8-9. I'll just do it manually, it's fine. But it's still not gonna go, so that's fine. And it's still not gonna go, that's fine. And now this guy's punching, which is probably even more dangerous than the bow he was using. Except he can't hit me because he's actually using melee attack now. But yeah, I was gonna point out before my healing stopped working, that the crossbow guy did a 40 damage crit, whereas the bow guy only did like a 20 damage crit. So yeah, those crossbows are much more dangerous than the bows are. Which I suppose might be down to the bow, or like the crossbow being a quiddity crossbow, whereas the regular bows. Actually, do you have a regular bow? It's hard to right click on it. No, you have a crossbow. But the regular crossbow versus the quiddity crossbow is quite a difference. I mean, look at that. Which actually, that damage bonus in and of itself might be the reason. How about you? No, you have javelins. Well, sadly, everything's respawned here before I could get back. Well, I probably could have gotten back faster, but I wanted to get my Vitae back and kill any applicable enemies that I saw. Which we still don't have all our Vitae. Still have 4%. Man, those guys give crappy XP. Okay. Well, we're over there by this guy. Do you have a bow? I'm trying to find someone with a bow. You have a crossbow. And this crossbow doesn't even have anything on it. Like, at least the other guy's crossbow actually had stats. Oh, you have a bow. Yeah, so this bow has no stats on it either, which is very bizarre. And now we're kind of in the middle of a million enemies. Luckily, none of them are trying to punch. Oh, great, we got out of range. Let's back up a bit. Because, like, the jump looting works very well, but there's a fine balance to not jump too high. If you jump too high, you stop being able to loot things. Oh, great, they're punching now. I have made a miscalculation for sure. Oh, and you cast spells. My two least favorite things. Also, how are you guys stuck on a lily pad? Yep, I'm getting deja vu. Just infinite crits and super fast attacks. You know what? I don't need to take this. We're getting out of there. We did get our rare back. We'll need to go back for the rest of it later, though. Because, yeah, that place is just far too dangerous. Especially because, like, their bows in the first place are scary enough because I don't have missile defense. And for some reason, so many Tumoroks have bows. Like, I swear, they have to be intentionally having more ranged weapons than melee weapons. Because, like, finding an entire group of 4 or 5 different Tumoroks that all have ranged weapons is a bit ludicrous when it comes to, like, probability, if they have an equal chance of being melee or ranged. So they must lean heavily on the ranged type thing, which is unfortunate, because they're like one of the only enemy types that is like that. Because normally missile defense is pretty, unuseful, except in specific circumstances. Kind of like the mana, I think it was Mana Hunter place. I don't remember exactly where that was. That was part of the society quests. Those Mana Hunter guys, they had some very, very deadly ranged weapons. And those things crit a lot. It was not fun, and a good time was not had by all. So what are you doing down here? Oh, you're just an NPC. I thought that was like an enemy on Tumorok, and I was very confused. Were we even going the right way? We were not going the right way. We were just heading out into the wilderness. If I had any buffs whatsoever, this probably wouldn't be nearly as tough. But we're not really at a point that we can get buffs. We don't even have item enchantment. And the amount of life and creature we have isn't even enough for level 3s or 4s. Because I think you want about 200 skill in order to cast level 4s. And I suppose I could get level 2 spells going, but I don't even know if that's exactly worth it at this level. because I would need to spend the money to buy them, and then it just it just might not be worthwhile. Man, but why is it that unarmed is so freaking deadly? If only I could do that. If only I could just like throw my weapons in the trash and just punch things. I think that would be pretty great. Alright, we're not seeing many Tumoroks around here right now. Maybe we should make this our lifestone. Just so we're like right there. So whenever we die, we can just run right back. Not that it's much further to run from Blue Spire, but you know, it would be efficient, I suppose. And then I'd have an excuse to use one of those Lugian lifestones. At least that's what we call them. I don't know if they're actually called Lugian lifestones. Well, I haven't found any other Tumoroks around. We might have to go back here. Which I really don't want to do, because I don't like this guy. Specifically. Once we have the living weapon, I'd like to come back here. I think that that would be a good time to test it out. Because the one that we're going for... Well, no, the one that we're going for wouldn't help. I was a bit torn. Are these the level... No, they're level 40. I thought those were the red ones, which are like the level 80 Karenzi, or maybe 100. No, yeah, the red ones are the level 100 Karenzi. So I was concerned for a moment. I thought they were red. But yeah, I was first going to go for, let's see, the Totem of the Rivers, which would require 3 of the medium dark ones. I don't know how you would describe them. They're kind of the gray ones. Uh, three of these. Oh yeah, because yeah, I wanted to go for. I guess I could go for either one because this gray one gives you weapon skill, endurance, and quickness all plus 15, which is very nice because endurance is like one of my main stats. Weapon skill will make it so I don't miss nearly as much because I kind of tend to miss things a lot. And quickness is just always good because it makes you go faster. And but I was thinking maybe the one of the mountains would be the best because it gives you melee defense and strength. Because, you know, really, strength is my main stat overall. Oh, hi, welcome to the party. Oh, you're the lower level guys. That's why you guys actually have melee weapons. I was wondering about that. I just saw Tumoroks in red and thought they were the other guys, but I noticed they actually had weapons instead of, you know, ranged weapons. I was kind of confused because that's not supposed to happen. But sadly, these guys can't drop the totems, so we're a bit out of luck on that one. I've never seen this before. I don't know what that is. To be fair, I don't wander around near Blue Spire very often. It isn't even on the map. Oh, it is. It's just up here. Huh. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Maybe the one down here was like a random portal spawn? Because I know those happen a lot around here. But that is a bit confusing. And there's these guys which are all too low level. We need the wind reeves and higher, not drum speakers. Now, it did say there were some other places to farm it, but it looks like those are the higher level areas. Hmm. It doesn't say what type of tomb rocks are around the area. So it might be worth it to go in there and check it out, but it seems like the Tumoroks that are on the plateau would be significantly higher level than the ones down here. I assume this is the lowest level spawn point, which is concerning seeing as how half the enemies here are level 80, which are significantly higher than I am currently equipped to handle. So that is unfortunate. And I mean, at first we were getting a lot of Tumorok spawns, but now we're not really. Could always go back into there, but no thank you. Yeah, the mixture of not having missile defense and not having very functional healing skill on this character for whatever reason is makes it a very scary endeavor to go in there. These guys just are not dropping the things. To be fair, I'm not killing them very often. It'd probably be dropping them a lot more if I had a more consistent spot. Because I like the Hio Warriors. They are a good level and difficulty. Let's see if we can't find a place that just has a lot of them. Let's see, dungeons that they're in. Tumorock Cavern from Red Spire. They have hunters and warriors. The hunters can't drop them, but the warriors can. And now I'm not sure if the warriors in the dungeon can drop the totems. I assume that they can. But I believe I know where this one is. Yeah, that's down next to Red Spire, also next to the first pincer dungeon. So I think it would be easiest just to Lifestone and go through the town network to Red Spire. So we'll try that, because if we could get any kind of a consistent place to farm them, if there's a good number of warriors down in there, that would be nice. But they also probably have the lowest drop rate, and additionally have the, you know, there's no guarantee there's a good enough number of them in there to actually be a good source of it, and we don't know what exactly the respawn rate will be. Because if there's only like one or two groups of them in there, it won't take long enough to kill both of them for the first ones to respawn. But we'll go check it out anyways. Because this is the only dungeon that is linked to those specific enemies that are about the right level to kill. But luckily it's not too far of a run. It's just right over here. I know there's another quest that this is part of. But I don't think that... I think it's first of all a bit too low level, and I don't think it's very useful. Let's see. Yeah, it makes a light weapon spear, and not a super good one at that. Alright, you're just a hunter. Not useful to us. And there's a lot of armoradillos in here. It didn't say that on the wiki. Actually, the wiki doesn't show any, you know, any armoradillos in here whatsoever. A bit bizarre. Yeah, and you're all hunters. We must need to get down to the lower levels before the warriors start coming in. If they're here at all. Because, I mean, if the wiki completely forgot that there were any armoradillos here, it might have also completely misjudged what kind of Tumoroks are in here. Or it could have changed in an update at some point. And just nobody gave the wiki people the memo about it. Yeah, because down here is only hunters. All hunters. All with ranged weapons as well, I might add. Let's see if we can't find a way down. I know there's a lower level. Yeah, it's right over here. All hunters. There's the Silt Lurker. That's the one that they actually have listed on the wiki. Just for some reason the Armoradillos not mentioned at all. Even though this would be a great place to farm for sure Armoradillo spines if you needed those. I don't know what you really make with those though. Well, I was gonna say we could probably make the Siliphy of Crimson Tears, but maybe not, because I think for the highest level you need, I think it's 350 base skill, and additionally you need, what is it? Yeah, you need a plate Armoradillo spine, which we are not really prepared to deal with right now. Also, it didn't say there were supposed to be shamans down here, and there are 0 warriors. So yeah, it seems the wiki is a bit outdated. Either that or the server is outdated. I don't know. Let me see. Interesting. So at some point, the creatures in the dungeon were updated to get rid of certain armoradillos, but also Shreths and Zephyrs. So I guess it must have been changed at one point before, and then changed again. So yeah, there's no warriors in this dungeon. And since this was the only dungeon that they were linked to, it means they weren't in any dungeon at all. Oh wait. Maybe. Is this the other quest or the other quest location? Cuz they were linked to the cave urn, not the cave. I assumed it was the cave because I've only done this half of the quest. I saw it was a dungeon that was linked to the quest and assumed it was this one, but it was the one that has 2 letters different in its name. Well, let's go there and see what the heck is happening. Because obviously this place is not that place, as it has completely different enemies in it. Though I've never been there, I don't think. Maybe I have. I think I might have completed this quest once. But I usually don't play light weapons characters either. Because light weapons is just kind of a... It's just kind of a middle ground, a weird middle ground. Like, finesse weapons has the best synergy with melee defense, and then heavy weapons has the best weapon variety, with some of the most iconic weapons in the game being heavy weapons. And then you just have light weapons. As like light weapons does get a few good weapons for sure, but it's just kind of a weird middle ground because they also scale off strength and coordination, but not they just they're pretty much the same as heavy weapons, just less damage and worse weapons overall, as far as I can tell. Most everybody that I know of goes either finesse weapons or heavy weapons. Okay, but let's check here. Are you guys useful at all? Nope, drum speakers. Not useful. Okay, but this place is the place that is supposed to have the warriors somewhere in it. But once again, I assume they'll be closer to the bottom of the dungeon. Because yeah, hunters up here again. More hunters. More hunters. And where's a down? I think over here might be a way down. Is this it? No, that just leads into the big room. And that looks like a way up. This place looks a lot like the other place, I gotta say. I mean, the layout is slightly different, but overall, the basic idea of the place is incredibly similar. Hunters, reed sharks, and right at the end is a warrior. I could have just been looking for the guy in the helmet. That probably would have been easier. Oh, and he just drops the keys for the vault, which we do not need. Okay. Well, no totem from him. I was hoping that he would be a bit more, you know, spread out through the dungeon and a bit more prevalent, but obviously not. Obviously he's just kind of one enemy at the very end. So this will not be an efficient place to look for the totems. We're gonna just basically need to look through the landscape to find them. Which is unfortunate. Oh, who are you? Oh, you're just the hunters and drum speakers again. We don't need you. So I suppose we'll head this way again. Back towards the Tumorok camp. But I'm kind of scared to fight things at the Tumorok camp in the first place, so... Ugh. You know, I could always put together a mix of totems. Like, as of now, I have 3 totems. And if I put each of those 3 totems together, then I would have exactly a 3 totem combo that will give us 8 cord, 25% heal rate, 2 damage value, 8 endurance, 8 weapon skill, 8 quickness, 12 strength, 3% attack damage, and 12 melee defense. Which wouldn't be bad. I mean, that has a little bit of everything, which is nice. But I was hoping to, you know, capitalize most on getting the highest strength. But, I mean, 8 strength, or no, 12 strength, 8 endurance isn't bad at all. Plus, then I still get the benefit of added weapon skill, which is also nice. Because it was kind of sucky going for the Totem of the Mountains that only gives you, you know, melee attack, melee defense, and strength, and no actual attack skill, just attack value. So yeah, I guess we can go for the Totem of the Heights. So we would just need 1 fodder totem then. So any totem that they give us, we could then turn in order to flag us for the next part of the quest. Let's just heal up. Make sure this is on, which it wasn't, because we died, so that automatically gets turned off. Oh no. I mean, these guys aren't that big of an issue, but 2 of them having crossbows and 2 of them having their fists as weapons is like the worst of all situations. But luckily, these guys aren't as scary in melee. Because any melee weapon they have isn't going to be nearly as damaging as the level 80s. Okay, just give me 1 totem. Nope, they do not wish to give me a totem. But they will someday. We just need to keep attacking them, and eventually we'll get it. Because yeah, I'd probably just wait and get the main totem set that I was going for if I had like a consistent place that I could kill these guys at. But I really do not. This character is not nearly strong enough yet to consistently clear that camp. I've cleared it like twice, 1.5 times, somewhere around there. And it just doesn't go well usually. Here's a group of warriors. I know they can drop it. Actually, before I kill you, these guys are using quiddity swords as well. So Blade of the Quiddity is that. Yeah. So the lances have 3. Dude, can you calm down? Okay, I just cannot select his weapon. But I couldn't really show it again, but I saw that the sword had 3% less attack skill bonus than the spear does. Which might not be a very big difference, but it could possibly be the difference between being able to hit me and not. So that might explain why the swords were so wimpy in the simulacrum area, because they also had the quiddity weapons, so I assume that they would be of like similar stats or the same stats most likely. Because it's technically the same weapons, but who knows? They might be slightly different weapon types. I don't know why you'd have multiple quiddity weapon types, but yeah. I usually like to get enemies into a corner, or get me into a corner so the enemies can't hit me from as many angles, but I think running into the cave to try to separate them a bit, or like to be able to box myself in a bit more, would be kind of a death sentence. Because there's just too many of them and they can cast spells. Is that a hollow weapon? No, I could have sworn I could see through the handle of that crossbow. But let me just see if I can pull a few and then back up and dodge their arrows. Because if I can dodge their shots, then they will give up eventually and resort to melee fighting. And these red guys punching. What's hitting me? Oh, there's the third guy over there. That's fine. Oh, wait. Wait, this guy switched from... Oh no. Oh no, you're punching too. Why? Why are you always aggroed onto me and why are you always punching? Okay, we got a traumatic... Wait, there's two of them. Okay, one of them's blocked a bit. And here come the crits. Oh yeah, because we never got our helmet back. That makes sense. I was like, how did he crit me for so much more? It is very hard when you have don't show helmet on to actually tell when you don't have a helmet on. Who would have guessed? I'd appreciate it if you could hit him. If you could, if you could. Thank you. And you go right back to being evaded. Okay. Okay, unbalancing blow. There we go. Those level 80s, that punch, even when I had the helmet, were just absolutely deadly. I don't know how I survived two of them going into unarmed combat without a helmet. I guess I just got super lucky that they weren't landing a bunch of hits and crits, but still not preferable. We've mostly cleared away to our old corpse from like 20 minutes ago. Because yeah, after that, I didn't really want to try to clear this place out, but I didn't really have a lot of a choice in the matter. It's always too high that I jump. I need to be on like on top of it. Okay. Now we do still need totems. We still haven't gotten another one. I'll just spam some of these down. But the enemies inside the tunnel are not enemies I want to face. So let's see if we can't pull these guys from this angle so they eventually give up on ranged attacks and come this way. So the ones in the tunnel stay in the tunnel. Hopefully indefinitely. But it takes them a while to realize that it's useless to ranged attack. There we go. This guy's actually navigating his way around. That's pretty smart. I didn't expect the AI to be able to do that. I thought they would just kind of run against the side of the rock and get stuck. But no, the AI is smarter than I gave it credit for. Alright, then there's a guy right here. Can we attack him through the wall, maybe? Nope. Not that wall, at least. Though it's nice to fight things through a wall, because then you can always back up if you need to. And they can't just, like, immediately follow you. Okay, but you actually have a melee weapon. That is a plus. For some reason. I don't know why that's such a benefit to us, but it is, for sure. Man, our attack skill sucks. I mean, I put so much money into it. I think it's because I have dual wield as well. And that's messing stuff up. Yeah, and I'm just not going to mess with you. I think that one specifically is usually the one that kills us. So we're ignoring it. We're just going to say that that one's cursed, and we don't want to go anywhere near it for the time being. So we're going to go see if we can't find more wilderness ones. I mean, I feel like I found more totems from the tomb rocks in the wilderness than I have from that set spawn anyway. Because they really don't like to drop the totems in there. Because we've cleared the place a few times and not gotten much of anything. You know, I've always liked the lightning effects in this game. You know? I mean, other games have weather sometimes, but they don't actually always have lightning to go with it unless it's actually part of the game. You know, because here, like, the lightning has no actual effect. It's not like you can be struck by lightning. It doesn't have an AoE effect or anything. It's just kind of off in the distance somewhere that you'll never actually end up interacting with. Oh, hi, Ebos. How's it going? I'm looking for totems. Quite unsuccessfully, I might add. I mean, I guess I have 3 out of 4, but that's still quite unsuccessful because it's not 4 out of 4, technically. We just need un mas. Just in from a bike ride? Oh, that sounds nice. I used to have a bike. Do I still have a bike? Somewhere? I don't think so. But I used to have a bike. It wasn't the best bike, but it was nice. Maybe someday I'll get a bike again. But most likely not, because by the time I could afford to get myself a nice bike, I'm probably going to be able to move way out into the middle of nowhere. And it's kind of hard to bike on forest trails. Well, I guess there's like mountain bikes. So yeah, maybe. Who knows? Alright, you better give me that totem. A Harley. I mean, a Harley could work. I don't know how good a Harley would be when it comes to off-roading either, but it definitely would be better than a bicycle, for sure. You know, like mountain bikes would be... Someone's knocking on the door. I wonder who that might be. Not my problem, though. Ow, those... Okay, that was a crit. For a second, I thought that was just a regular crossbow hit, and I was concerned. These crossbows can do a lot of damage. Yeah, it must be because the crossbows had that hefty attack damage bonus, whereas the bows didn't look like they had any modifiers on the attacks at all. And now we can get a look at the sword again. Yeah, the sword has plus 16, plus 16. These are plus 14, plus 18. I think the pikes had like plus 18 attack skill, or plus 19 or something. How have I been? I've been alright. I've also been better in the past at some point. Ooh, there's our last totem. I've been kind of trying to figure out what I'm wanting to play lately. I mean, I've been playing a lot of, where's the dungeon we need to go to? Okay, I need to look up where the dungeon is. But I've been playing a lot of Asheron's Call, as you can tell. But, I'm getting into that mood where it's like, what do I really want to play? What is the next, like, big game that we go for? And it's very hard to, is very hard to tell. Because who knows what they want to play? I certainly don't. I actually unchecked that. Okay. So we need to go to this guy who is further up north than I thought. Okay, it'd probably be faster to just go here, teleport to Greenspire. Actually, there used to be... No, I was going to say there used to be a portal to Greenspire somewhere around here, but I think, yeah, the Greenspire portal is next to Redspire, and there's a Blue Spire portal. Or no, there's a Redspire portal next to Greenspire. Blue Spire is kind of on its own. I guess it's connected to Aharenga, but yes. So yeah, it always kind of sucks when you're in that weird in between games mood where it's like, well, what do you really want to do? It's very concerning. Oh, but the whole swelling thing has gone down entirely, so that's good. No, that's been gone for like a couple days now, I think. At least a day. It's hard to tell, but that's been gone. So I'm very happy about that. I'm back to normal. Let's see, let me go back here. Then we go Greenspire, which should be this one. And he's only 5 clicks this way. I don't think there's anything we can do to get close to there. I guess we could have gone through the facility hub and gone to here, and that would have gotten us really close to it, but it's too late now, probably. So we'll just run. And then we're going to put these 3 totems together and give this one as sacrifice. That is a big rock. Actually, I remember on Dekarutide, there was a time that I had a PvP battle around that specific rock over there. And it was difficult because I didn't realize that jump skill was integral to PvP skill, because the guy jumped up on the rock and I hadn't really upped my jump enough at that point, so I couldn't jump up onto the rock to get him, and it was a bit of a disaster. But he also did like no damage to me, so it was not a very big problem at all. Those were the days back on Dekarutide. I actually attempted for a while on Dekarutide to be the highest level hardcore character on the server, and I succeeded for like a good week, maybe a little bit more. Right as the hardcore stuff came out, I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to mess with PvP very much. I'm not going to mess with, messing around. I'm just going to get right down to it and just start killing things. And I did. And I actually stayed in the number 1 spot for a significant amount of time. But of course, then I kind of got bored and left. Not because of the server, of course, but because of just, you know, how the whole gaming cycle goes. You can't play the same thing forever. So I kind of just got disinterested and went on to something else and then lost my number 1 title. And it was very sad. But I probably could have sustained that for quite some time. And that was against, like, macroers and stuff. I mean, it was a PvP server, so macroing was a bit dangerous for people, but still, it was quite impressive that other people were out there macroing, and yet I was still kind of keeping up with them. Okay. Owen Wilson, wow, indeed. I would try to do the voice, but I don't think I could do it justice. I need to have like a button. I need to get like one of those soundboards that people have for their streams, and I can just have that be one of the buttons that I can press to make it do that sound effect. Okay, but now we need to go up to this place I clicked off of the game. There we go. I need to go up to this place, which is around the corner here, and then we'll buy the weapon from the... Is that a bad thing? It's probably a bad thing. These are level 100, aren't they? Nope, 80. Okay. That's probably fine. Probably. The enemies around here are getting a bit high level for my taste. Oh, and I still don't have my helmet on. Even though I got that from the enemies. I always forget, because once again, show helm is off, so, you know. Hmm. We can kind of organize our bags a little bit while we're running. Not a ton else to do. I mean, there's a lot of organization to do in this game, so probably for the best that they give you ample time to organize it. Though I usually just space out and run instead of actually taking the time to organize anything. Even though I should. I really should sit down and organize things, but usually it slips my mind. Also, why am I holding on to these if I'm never really going to use them? Because, like, at this level, usually you just use the best weapons available to you, which would be these two, and soon to be the living weapon we're about to get. So why do I keep these? They just kind of take up inventory space. I think I just got this for mana. Can I go up this? I can. Okay. That's good, because there's a lot of Cyraloons on me. And I don't want to deal with them. Like, at all. Cyraloons are scary. I mean, further level, they just have some pretty intimidating melee attack and defense skill. Oh, hi. It would seem that knife has a knife. Who would have guessed? Not a very good knife. Alright, now I need to remember how the heck you navigate this dungeon. Brutes and knives. And, oh gosh, Karenzis. I forgot how high level the enemies in this dungeon were. Oh, door's locked. Can't unlock it. Does this lead us to where we need... Oh, no, not wisps. Oh, this is a bad idea. Why did I come down here of my own volition? Okay, and that was unlocked as well. It was only locked from one direction. Yeah, feral Karenzis are level 100 ones. They're scary. Luckily, Karenzis are never all that intimidating. I really should have looked at the layout of this dungeon before just running in here. This was a bad move. Because yeah, now I'm back at the top. I mean, with most dungeons, you need to go to the bottom of the dungeon. We shouldn't be going backwards this way. It looks like that's all dead ends as well. So I guess we need to go backwards, back to the Karenzis. But also with this very confusing layout, it's hard to tell what's on your level and what's up or down significantly. Let's go this way. This way. Ow. Oh, hi, Cyraloon. I was just talking about how deadly you guys are. Aha, here you are. Ow. We wanted this one. Alright, I'll see you all in therapy. Goodbye. Luckily, these bookshelves were here to shield us from most of the enemies. Oh, and of course my internet's dying. Why is my internet? Luckily, that doesn't really interrupt our connection with the server, because it's my server. But why is the internet dying? It is a very good question. Because it shouldn't be. Especially because it says it's at 4,000 kilobytes a second, yet it's still dropping frames. So obviously something weird is going on. I guess I need to reset my internet. And of course it does this. Yeah, let's reset it. And just hope that once it's reset, it actually reconnects correctly. Because yeesh. Yeah, that was not a good time for the internet to go out either. Like, seriously, a very bad time. Because I didn't even realize that it was going out, because I was kind of just struggling through the dungeon a bunch. But let's see if it actually catches back up. Eventually. Maybe not. Maybe this is just the end of the stream here. Because my internet just refuses to reconnect correctly. Because like it says it's above 4 to 5,000 kilobytes per second, which is usually what it sits at for good streaming thing. But it was just at 1 bar the whole time, even at high kilobytes per second, which was very concerning. But now it's up to green again, so I think that means that the internet fixed itself. For the time being. But if it starts breaking again, that would not be a big surprise to me. So now I think we just do this. Yes. And now this is, first of all, it started out being a slashing mace. I don't know why it turns into a bludgeoning mace when you put the totems on it. But now it does good damage, uh a whole bunch of buffs. And of course the thing we got it for, which is crushing blow, biting strike. So let's see. This is 25 to 42 with those stats. And this will be 24 to 50 with those stats. That is significantly better. And we get a bunch of other stuff like, let's see. Yeah, so we get better endurance, better coordination. Oh, and this gives us, it's a strength buff that actually stacks on top of other strength buffs. That's super nice. Is there actually a whiskey called Lag with 2 G's? Because that's pretty interesting. Alright, well that's our new weapon. Very nice. Seems better in nearly every way. And I think the only way to properly test out its ability is to go and slaughter some low-level Ulthoi with it. Because this should have much better, like, it should crit a lot more often and still crit very hard. Because this weapon only crits very hard, but this has both of them, leading to kind of insane amounts of crit damage. But we'll see if that ends up being true. Really, you can't trust the numbers. You gotta test it out in practice. I mean, I just one-shot both of them. Of course, these are level 20, Ulthoi. We'll just go through and do the pincers and just see how this stands up to other things. But it's quite nice because this actually has higher attack skill and melee defense skill than the Sword of Lost Light has. So we're getting some higher buffs there. Let me through. Okay. Into the final room. I don't think we need to worry about these guys too much. Probably. Might regret that decision, but hopefully not. In pincer. So yeah, there's only one enemy in there we killed that it didn't one-shot, and even then it did 90 damage on a regular hit. So that's nice. And technically we can upgrade this thing once we hit, I think it was level 120. We can upgrade this weapon to have resistance cleaving on it as well, which would make it quite overpowered. But by that level, we'll have some pretty intense weapons anyways, so probably won't matter being able to upgrade this specific thing. But who knows? What is ivoryable as well? But that just makes it so you can give it to people, right? Not that it can actually be used by anyone else, I think. I don't know. I was never very keen on ivorying things. Let's go back down to the bottom. Obliterate some enemies. I think this enemy over here is the only one you really need to kill, because this one is the one that drops the pincer. Alright, well that one was slightly higher level, and these guys still can't really hit me, and we practically one-shot him with the new mace as well. I mean, I guess that's what happens when you get your first 250 plus weapon skill weapon. Because that is kind of a big jump in performance, is getting to that base 250 skill mark. Now I turned the wrong way around for this. But we had some issues with this dungeon before. We'll see how it goes this time, because we are higher level and have significantly more of everything else by the time we get here. Though we can't get very much in these skills currently. But we can get a few more. Just make sure that we don't miss these guys. Yeah, we're still doing some amazing damage with this thing. And the enemies aren't hitting us nearly as much as they used to. Of course, I believe on this character we got up through the Legionary dungeon, just barely. So fighting these guys off is not exactly the most impressive after having gone to those heights, but we'll just speed through this then and get to the higher ones, see if it does good damage against soldiers as well. But we still won't be able to surpass legionaries, because as I said, it jumps up to eviscerators after that, and those things are a bit terrifying. Though if we could do that, we might try it. Just see how, I guess it depends on how legionaries go with this new weapon, but it might just end up being the same, and eviscerators are a bit terrifying. Because if legionaries are killing us, those eviscerators definitely will. But pretty soon here, I think we could try to go get some armor. I think I would try to get my magic skills up to the point that I can cast at least level 3s and try to get some of the most important level 3 buffs for those magic schools and just see how that goes. Because yeah, if I could get myself pretty much a full complement of Ulthoi applicable buffs, then I might be able to do the lesser Ulthoi armor dungeon. Now, I haven't been seeing many crits out of this thing just yet, but we've only used it for a little bit. Because, yeah, I really need some better armor at this point. Although even workers are giving us a hard time. To be fair, that was only with their crits, but still, enemies are gonna crit, and we kind of need to assume that if we can't handle their crits, then we can't really handle the enemy in general. Okay, let's get out of here. Go to the next one. Okay. Now soldiers next, which is this one. You know, and I could get a second living weapon, but I suppose that wouldn't actually work, because the only reason this living weapon is so good is that it's benefiting from the buffs that our Sword of Lost Light has. Okay, it's not hitting nearly as hard against these guys as it was against the lower level ones. Their armor level must be catching up to the damage of this weapon. Now the pincer should be on one of these guys here, I think. You know, the soldier pincer is always the one that is kind of elusive, because I never can fully, like, pin down exactly which enemy drops it. I think we just got double crit there. That's rather nice. But usually in this room we get one that drops it. There it is. But I don't know if that's one that's like... Was that a heavy weapons? No, I think the Ulthoi Sword's a light weapons. But I'll take it anyways. Okay. Well, that's that. Let's go back. And let me just check if the Ulthoi Sword is a heavy weapon. I don't think it is. Nope, the Paradox Touched Ulthoi Sword is a heavy weapon, but there is no regular Ulthoi Sword on here. I do remember back in the day I used to have a character that had the Ulthoi Sword. I don't remember if that's because they were a light weapons character or just if they were uh if they were a sword character way back before they changed the weapon systems. Okay, let's fight one of you, or I guess two of you. Make sure that you're not going to obliterate us. No, so far they seem to be about the same as the soldiers were. Because last time I was in here, they were significantly worse than the soldiers were. So hopefully the newer weapon has evened the odds a bit. How do you even odds? I've never really thought about that because like there is odds as in the chances you have of something happening, but odds are also like odd numbers. So if you even an odd, then it's no longer an odd number, it's an even number. I'm pretty sure that's two different ways of using the word odd, right? Okay, we'll just head over to here and kind of use the corridor's shape to help us kill these guys off. Because last time we tried to kill them over by the portal and it didn't work out very well. They hit us a lot less than they did back then. Their crits still hurt though. And any crit is basically just a one shot, which is so nice. And that if I do go for the Ulthoy armor anytime soon, that's probably going to be what lets us survive the whole ordeal, because it's like we can't really do enough damage on our own to kill those matrons, I don't think, because they have insane regeneration. So what we're going to need to rely on is having really good crits. So our regular hits keep the regen down, and then the crits are the ones that actually do the damage. And if this thing does some amazing crit damage, it'll be able to kind of poke their health down much faster than others. Hopefully. Okay, I think only the ones at the very back of the room give the pincer, so those first ones probably don't have it usually. Probably should have drank some potions before bringing these new ones in here, but it's fine. So yeah, these guys probably had it, because there's only, I think, one or two left out there. And there it is. Okay. Now, since that went so well, I am willing to entertain the idea of at least popping into the Eviscerator dungeon. If we're high enough level. We may not be. You may need to be level 50 in order to even go in. But I kind of need to go over there to check that anyway. So we'll pop over there just because we're really close to it coming out of that dungeon. But if we can go in there, that will be good for us, because if you can go in there, you can possibly get the letter. Even if you can't go and get the pincer, which would take going through the whole dungeon, and that would be a bit of a difficult excursion. But right inside the entrance, just off to the side a bit, is a chest that has a letter in it that will give us quite a good amount of stuff. Not only will it give us a full MMD, but it also gives us a bunch of XP on top of that. And I think potions. But I don't think these are the potions we need. So we'll see if we can get that, but I'm assuming that we're not even high enough level to go in the portal yet. Because I think it might be 50 plus, if not higher. Maybe even 60 plus. Because, I mean, the enemies in there are level 80. So, those are level 100. Let's not mess with them. We can just leave those over there. It's fine. Yep, 50 or greater. That's what I thought. Probably for the best, though, because those things would most likely annihilate us. No need to throw myself on a sword. I mean, definitely trying to go in there would be throwing myself on a sword, and trying to fight those level 100 Tuskers would also be, at least equivalent wise, which would not be good. So let's sell all this, get rid of this book, because who needs it? I don't think we need the Ulthoi Claw, so we'll sell it. And these, I think we decided also we didn't need. So we'll just let him take whatever he wants to take. And we need to get rid of this book, but we can do that at Red Spire. Also, I probably need to buy some stuff with all those Pyreals, because having a lot of Pyreals on you is kind of a pain when you die. Although a corpse can only hold so many items, but you always drop 50% of all your Pyreals, right? So what happens if you have a full inventory with all of the best bags in the game, and every slot in your inventory was full with full stacks of Pyreals? What would happen then? Because your corpse can't hold that many items. Oh, I don't need to talk to you. Get out of here. I need to give you pincers. Thank you. There we go. Alright, that was pretty nice. Got a few levels from those. Now let me look at what spell levels we need. So if I wanted to go for level 4s, we would need approximately 200 skill in order to cast those efficiently. Level 5s would be 250 skill. Level 6s would be 300 skill, and so on. So we're nowhere near that. So I think right now at about 100 skill on these, I could always raise those, but currently we can cast approximately level 2s efficiently. We would need 150 to cast 3s. Hmm. Let's see, 130. That's a decent. Because 135 is exactly 92% success rate on level 3s. I guess that's fine. So we'll raise both of those up to that. We could raise them higher, but it's gotten quite expensive for just some magic skills. Now, if we were to go to Arwick, we could go to the Professors of Magic and get level 3 spells of Creature for a DCCL, which we already have, and Life for another DCCL, which we don't have, I don't think. No, wait, we do, because we've done the pincers twice. So we could go do that. But I don't know if we need... We actually have so much money. We probably don't need all of the level 3 spells, just the specific ones that'll help us the most. So where do we buy level 3s? I think... Cragstone? I mean, Cragstone is usually a pretty good place to go for spells, really, of any level. Because they have quite a few levels in there. So let's go check for some level 3s, see if we can't get a few useful spells going. If I could just get all the protection spells from life, and then any applicable spells like heavy weapons aptitude and strength, endurance, coordination, quickness, those kinds of things, maybe health and stamina, then that would be nice. Let's see, I think we need journeyman. Is it journeyman or is it apprentice ones? What do you sell? You sell level ones. Yeah, you're not the correct ones. We don't need apprentice. I know the regular scriveners will give us. I don't need more magic. Get out of here. Life magic. Okay, level threes. There we go. On what system is this based? D&D, or do they do their own system? It's pretty much their own system. Because D&D is basically like you have a certain number of spell casts and then you regain those every time you rest, right? Well, on this, basically you have mana and you have spell components, which I usually have in this bag, but we don't have any of them yet, which are tapers and scarabs. And then, of course, you also have all of the other components, but if you have a foci or multiple foci, then it will basically make it so you only need two components rather than a bunch of components. And you put together the components with certain words that you say in the game, and then, yeah. So that's how the magic works. But, oh yeah, and with crits, I don't know if crits work the same as in D&D, but it basically is. I mean, it works the same as in a lot of RPGs where you get a critical strike and then it does, I think, double damage normally. Because in this game, it does exactly double damage of the higher end of your damage. So I think a crit with this, without any other bonuses, would be 100 damage. Because you take the high end damage, double it. But with this weapon specifically, and not with this weapon, but with any weapon that you have that has crushing blow or biting strike, I believe biting strike it makes it so it crits much more often, and crushing blow makes it so that it either doubles or triples or even quadruples, I think, with crushing blow. It does a bunch more crit damage anytime it crits. So this could end up doing like up to 200 bludgeoning damage, or maybe even 300 or 400, depending on, well, maybe not 400. Because, yeah, 100 would be doubled, 200 would be quadrupled. So, yeah, probably up to 200, maybe a little bit more damage per crit because of this. Then, of course, minus the enemy armor and all their resistances, but yes. The crit system is kind of a bit more nuanced in this because of the crippling blow and biting strike, but overall it's pretty normal compared to other systems. So let's see, from here we need, actually being able to put imperil on the enemy would be nice, but I probably would want to buff beforehand and not try to debuff in combat, especially because with my wimpy life magic skill, the chance that I could actually debuff something is really low. So we're just gonna go with the regular buffs. And then we can get rejuvenate, right? Yeah, sure. We'll get rejuvenate. We regenerate. And I don't think we need mana renewal. Probably. But we probably will want stamina to mana. And then revitalize. I guess we might as well get heal just while we're here, while we're at it. And now to learn all these. Okay, all those are unchecked. Why are you still showing up? Okay, they were not all unchecked. It lied to me. It literally lied. But yeah, back in the day, I was never really even alive during the system. I think this system was taken out in like early 2000s. So yeah, I was not playing this game at the time that this system was implemented. But there used to be in this game a system that was called spell research. And what you would basically have to do is do like trial and error where you get together specific components and then kind of smash them together until you actually create your own spells. Nowadays, you can just go to the Scrivener and they'll give you the spell scrolls and you just learn them. But back in the day, you actually needed to make your own spell scrolls for everything. And I think that that was just so much of a better system. But that's just me. Kind of like Skyrim. Was it kind of like Skyrim? I mean, you can buy. I think in Skyrim you can buy spell scrolls. Can you make spell scrolls in Skyrim? I don't think you can. Let's see, endurance, coordination, focus, quickness. We don't need strength, but we'll get strength anyways. Willpower. Then we need heavy weapons. I don't know which one of these is that. Ooh, we could actually use, yeah, dirty fighting mastery and dual wield mastery. It was potions. Oh yeah, you can make the potions yourself. Yeah, that's definitely for sure something. Yeah, and this is missile defense, right? Yeah, might as well. Invulnerability is melee defense. Where's the magic defense one? I should pick that one up as well. Jump mastery. Life magic mastery, might want. Mana mastery. Is that mana convert? Yeah. Might want that. Magic yield, we do not need. Magic resistance self. There we go. We don't have recklessness, nor sneak attack. Might want sprint. Okay, and I don't think I found heavy weapons in here. So let me look back through. Unless I did. No, I didn't. That's finesse weapons. That's light weapons. Where are the heavy weapons? I mean, I don't play heavy weapons all that often, so I'm not very familiar with what the symbol looks like. Oh, here? Yeah, heavy weapons. Okay. There we go. Wait, can you make your own skooma in Skyrim? I've never really looked into it. I know that you can steal it from other people or like, get it off their corpses and stuff and then sell it, but I've never or in Morrowind? Oh. That makes sense. I never did much alchemy in Morrowind or any of the profession type things. I only really went into those in Skyrim. Let's see. Well, now I'll need an actual casting implement, which I guess I'll find on my travels, but for the time being, I could go and get my generic one from the house. Because just in case, just like in really bad situations where if my character dies and they lose their ranged weapon, I keep, or not ranged weapon, their magic caster, I keep a spare wand in the house chest just in case. So we're gonna get that just so I can like put all the spells on our bar, and then find our own magic caster somewhere else. Let's see, where do I keep that? There's this one. This is one of my spare ones. I think I have another one in there that's like the bendy one. I'm still kind of disappointed that there aren't any actual wands that use the bendy wand look. But, it is what it is. And we already have the foci for it. So that's good. I'll just need to grab some components when I'm in town next time. We're just doing buffs, so let's put this on 2. So armor, bludgeoning, slashing, piercing, and then fire, frost, acid, lightning, generation, rejuvenation. And then, of course, stamina to mana and revitalize. And then here, we also want stamina to mana and revitalize, but also creature enchantment. We basically just need all of this. So we can probably organize them a bit later. We'll just throw all these on here because the order is not as important, probably. There we go. Okay, but I'll put my emergency wand back. We're gonna find our own eventually. Okay. Well, I think that'll probably be it. I don't know. I never play this game for very long in any one session because I usually run out of things that I want to do. Like, I come into it having one quest in mind, and then I do that quest, and it usually takes like an hour, and then I do a daily or two to do another hour, and then I end. So, usually this game doesn't go on for too long, whereas other games kind of suck you in, and, you just go from one thing to the next to the next. So, yes, hopefully by next time I'll have already bought the components that I need and maybe found a temporary wand that we can use to buff ourselves. And then who knows? I'll test my strength when I'm buffed as well and see if I feel strong enough to go and fight some Ulfoy matrons because I really need to do something about this armor. I mean, some of it is better, some of it is not. I should have kept the Rooshk pants, now that I think about it. But anyways, yeah. Yeah, you have a good one as well, Mr. Ebos. And I'll see you next time, which should be let me check the calendar. It should be Monday. Yeah. So Monday I will be back, and then Tuesday I will be there. But then Wednesday through Sunday, I will then be gone. So 31st through the 4th, I will not be here. And then the 5th, I will be back for a big stream, which hopefully, I'm hoping that the big stream will be, long. I was hoping for like 8 hours, but if my voice gives out at like 6 hours, which it very well might, then maybe I won't be able to stream that long. But we'll see. We'll see how long we can go with that. But I'll see you guys later. So, yes, goodbye.